Yo, what up, party people? This is the scientist of sound, Kwame, and you are watching MogulMediaTV.com. Keep it there, keep it locked. Let's go! Y'all ready for some good music tonight? Yeah. If y'all really ready for some good music, let me hear y'all make some noise. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kwame, and I will be your host for this evening. But real quick, it's Queens in the house. I need to know if anybody from Queens is in this house. Me, myself, I hail from Queens, East Elmhurst, Corona. By way of Southside when I was a teenager. So I am a born and raised and bred Queens boy. So I need to know one more time, and I'm asking this for a specific reason. Is Queens in this house tonight? Kwame is all around nice guy who spends entirely too much time on them beats, making it hot, you know, just trying to come up with new sounds, new energy, new music, you know, nothing, there's no such thing as old school, there's no such thing as new school. I try to make timeless music. So that's my occupation. Well, the first and foremost artist named Loriana May on Atlantic Records.
What's up, y'all? This is Loriana May. You could get my new EP, Love May, on iTunes right now. Follow me on Twitter at Loriana May, LaurianaMae. You're checking out MogulMediaTV.com.
Currently has an EP named Love May on iTunes right now. Album coming in 2012. And her whole style is taking you back to like Boardwalk Empire meets the Boulevard, you know what I'm saying? It's just like hip-hop meets swing meets jazz. We call it hop music. We like to just hop to it when we hear this music, and we're working real hard, man. We're trying to give you the best of what we have. We're trying to give you records that you can feel in your gut. Like, we just want to give you gut punches every time you hear it, from the slow jams to the fast joints, just keeping it pushing. So Loriana May, you gotta look out for her because she's incredible. Second artist I have is an incredible artist out of Rockaway, Queens. His name is Beyond Belief. Lyrical monster, rap phenomenon. He's incredible. We put out one indie album called What About Bob, and we're starting work on our second indie album. We don't have a title for it yet, but basically the movement is called Make Noise. And what Make Noise comprises of is, of course, myself. I'm like the Duke Ellington of this movement. I'm a band leader. I put that music together, try to put the great musicians together, and bring that power to you. So like I said, next up is Beyond Belief, and that's it. You know, of course, there's other artists that I'm working on, like a T.I. or a Keisha Cole, or artists of that nature. But my passion and my focus is on this Make Noise sound. Well, the sample that you're referring to, Lookalike, was by a great musician named Bob James. Bob James, actually, another record that I used the Bob James for Loriana May was a record that she did tonight called Shine. Back in 1989, it was a different process of clearing samples. Let's give you a type of perspective of the way it's going down now. In 2012, record labels hire people called musicologists, and musicologists listen to records, dissect samples, and then they get somebody to broker and negotiate how you sample a record and what they're going to get and what the publishing is and what the licensing is, and there's a whole bunch of paperwork you have to fill out to clear a record. Back in 1989, when I was a kid and I was sampling these records, it was a matter of reaching out to the artists themselves, letting the artist hear the record, and then letting the artist approve a record. You know, if like there was a record that had too much curses on it, that record won't get approved, whether it be a hit or not. Or it'll be some crazy, like, you want to use this record, $200,000. And you know, budgets, there was no such thing as $200,000 in a rap budget in 1989. So for a record like Lookalike, the label would contact the artist. I would speak to the artist. I would personally request and say, look, I want to use your record. I'm sampling your record because I am a fan of this record. You know, like for example, I was one of the only artists back then that could get away with using a Prince sample. Like my third album, it's called Nasty. I Princed out. You know what I'm saying? And because of that rapport and that musicianship, we were able to use those samples. So, you know, from Lookalike to Prince to anything in between, Shaka Khan, Minnie Riperton, anybody that I might have used, but in those times, it was a personal thing. We had to personally reach out to their publishing companies or the actual artists who own those rights and get it cleared. Well, first of all, you got to know who you are. You have to know who you are, because if you don't know who you are and you don't know the path that you want to take, all you're going to end up doing is playing catch up forever. And you don't want to. You want people to play catch up to you. So whatever you do, whether you're producing, whether you want to open a restaurant, whether you want to design clothing, you have to know what your stamp is and your signature, your fingerprint. You know, everybody's fingerprint is unique, and that's what, as an entrepreneur, as a creative person, you have to figure out what your fingerprint is and how your fingerprint is, and then how are you going to use that fingerprint to impact your surroundings and hopefully the world. It's easier said than done. Sometimes people find their voice, their inner voice, later in life. Some people find it at 10 years old. So the biggest form of advice outside of that is don't put yourself on a time frame. You can reach me on Facebook Kwame the Boy Genius, or Twitter, Kwame Did It on Twitter.